Okay, well, speaking of the opposite liberal, let's talk about the right, and let's talk about Andrew Tate for a second.
Let's talk about James' algorithm feed.
Let's talk about my Twitter. I mean, my TikTok algorithm. So I was, sometimes I conflate work. This is the tough part of the social. Sometimes like I'll go into TikTok and be like, you know what? Let me look at or Twitter or anything. Like, let me reply to some comments, and then all of a sudden I'm like sucked into this algorithm. I'm just
seriously, that was a perfect graphic.
Rolling, I'm glad you enjoyed my.
If you couldn't see the video, James just leaned into the camera with a.
And I came across this video, and in all fairness, I truly am fascinated by Andrew Tate and just direct response marketing. Like all of it is fascinating to me, and I think all three of us feel that way. So I
just love that he's selling like a B-list version. He's selling like a whack utopia. It's great. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, he is. So hold on. So he has his newest offer, his newest community. His old one was he started with War Room, then he had
Legendary.
And actually, I'm not going to say who, but Oren, you and I have a friend who told me recently that he just joined War Room, and we'll talk about it off the pod.
I can't wait. Let's go.
When I ran into him,
I hope it's someone who is a New York promoter. It would be
no. It's someone who has a G-Wagon with their name on the license plate.
Oh, let's go. My guy. He would be in the War Room. Let's run.
But he told me he's really doing it because there's great clients in there for
that makes sense for running scams.
Anyway, he's the man. I hope he doesn't listen to this pod and think shit.
Oh,
anyway.
no, yeah.
Anyway, I came across his account, and Andrew Tate started with War Room, then he had Hustlers University. His newest thing is called, I think, Real World? Yeah, realworld.ai, I think. And the idea behind the pitch behind this angle of the exact same offer, I think, is that like we are all living in the Matrix. And he's going to take you to the real world. And actually, did you guys watch the videos? Because they show you the video.
In the intro, he's dodging the Matrix stuff, and then like they're reading books. Then he's like at the shooting range, like popping bullets, and they're doing all this to sell you a course on like how to do copywriting, like to sell you like
how to be a freelancer.
Yeah, so hold on. So he
he's touching a baby tiger. You see that? I was like, the B-roll is legendary.
So I have, so I'm scrolling and I see this thing. It's like my review of Real World Day 5, right? And so I watch it and he's like, yeah, this is kind of bullshit. I did finally get the email. I got invited. I'll give you a better review tomorrow. So I go look. The next one is day 6. And he says, on this TikTok account, it says, the truth is, it felt like a scam at first, but like now that I've been really diving into it, it's definitely real. It just require work. Like if you put in the effort, there's no way this isn't worth $50 a month. But my only issue is that like you actually have to put in effort. So he's giving negative feedback on purpose so it feels real. So I zoom out and I open the account, and it's just like a normal kid giving this review. And I go scroll through and I realize this entire account is just an actor. Who from the jump, the first like 10 videos are just like him and his homies. It's just like, it's just been like seeded with like genuine, just like bad TikTok. So like it feels like it's a real account. And anyway, and then you realize, once you look at the link in the bio and it just says realworld.ai, that was the real tell for me right there, was that like that this kid is a link in the bio that's just not even affiliate for it, just like straight up offer.
Right, just straight up.
Yeah. But anyway, so Andrew Tate, kudos to, this is very gray hat. Maybe a little black hat even in terms of service, but running a bunch of fake accounts that basically are just promoting. Obviously, everyone knew this, but everyone we saw with Hustlers University is people were reposting his videos, right, to meme accounts, basically. Whereas this is way more thought out. This is like, we're going to create a fake persona, and we're going to have them leave negative stuff on it as well, so you believe it's fucking real. And anyway, I'm sure there's 100 of these accounts.
Lusts after a Barstool watch. Just normal stuff, and then his left brain is opening with this with his
normal stuff. So what I don't get about all of this really, and this is everywhere from like the content inside being okay to like the guy talks about how you have to click the forgot password button to get your password sent to you.
Yeah,
is like he makes a ton of money. Why not have all this stuff be excellent? Because I don't think there's any arguing that there's something like the concept is decent, right? He could go to the best of the best in these info product spaces and be like, hey, I'm Andrew Tate. I want to white label your program into my thing.
Sure.
And all of that would be done. Like this could be like QT excellent, 10 out of 10 for like $20,000 to $50,000.
I assume it's because he doesn't actually know. I think it's because they've been scamming so long that they don't know what good is. That's the only thing I can think of.
So here's my.
But he's like paying people to be in there talking about this stuff.
I
right?
mean, I know. I mean, listen. I'll tell you. I think it's two things. I think it's a mix of like the tech just being behind. I mean, just like oversight shit and like being lazy. And then I do think some of it's on purpose. Like I'm not. I mean. Not even fucking around. Like
they don't want you to break out of the matrix. If you actually become a good copywriter, they're like, "Well, you're not going to use."
No, I don't mean like the forgot password thing, but I mean like I just know there's a really weird corner of the internet and of marketing, and it is direct response, long form sales copy and VSLs and shit. And like, if anyone listening wants to go look up Resurge, it's one of the top performing VSLs in the history of time, like several $100 million of sales. And it's a ClickBank offer for a weight loss pill. It is a 50 fucking minute like video of like mostly text on screen and then like flying through the heavens and then stock imagery of like people's bodies. Like it's just crazy. I'll find the VSL and share with you guys.
Let's go. Yeah.
But
it needs to be in the pod description.
It is literally printed off like $200 million. It's the number one product on ClickBank of all time. And that VSL is the industry direct response standard of like long form aggressive copy
let's break this down for the listenership because some of them may not. Let's roll through like what is a VSL, what is direct response copy.
Sure. So VSL is a video sales letter, and direct response copy to make it simple is copy is wording that you want to elicit an immediate like action to be taken from reading, as opposed to like reading an ad that you connotes a certain feeling for you that you later on remember, or you want to go buy in a store. Like the direct response, I'm immediately trying to elicit a response from you right there. I'm trying to make you buy on the spot. So long form copy is normally direct response. You'll see sales pages that look really fucking ugly and are old and like, dude, look at anyone who doesn't believe
Dan
me.
Kennedy, the legend. Yeah.
Look at Dan Kennedy's shit. Look at what's his name? The other
Jim Edwards.
And any of these old school any of these old school masters of copy, all the shit they're running today. Frank Kern, look at Frank Kern's ads on Instagram. They're fucking terrible. They're really fucking terrible. Frank Kern is probably printing off $100 million a year though to this shit. And so I don't know why the psychology behind it works, but there is something about that psychology. In terms of like things looking ugly, it might be that on a subversive level, it makes you feel like it's not contrived, sort of put together.
It's the ClickFunnels thing because you think if you put that in front of someone and say, "Would you buy off of this?" They'd be like, "No, this looks crazy." But then people buy off ClickFunnels shit all fucking day, right? Yeah,
it converts like better. Period. Yeah.
But I do wonder, and they have the combination. Like, so what I liked about the real world, like that video is absolutely crazy, where it's like you're looking yourself from the Matrix, and like he's like shooting guns and fucking.
But one thing they do in it is they like read all the negative reviews about him. Do you see what I'm saying? And they like lean into it, and he's like, "This is them like trying to keep you in the Matrix." Where it's like Andrew Tate, misogynist. It's like,
but and I wonder, how do we keep that? So we're all launching communities, here, right?
Sure.
So how do we bring that same energy into our VSLs?
It's. I think there's a very fine line that you have to be careful of and understand who you're speaking to audience wise. But a good friend of mine, I don't think he wants me to say his name probably, but gave me. We were having a discussion about direct response copy.
Sorry,
and basically, he told me that there's three things that are super important, and you need an enemy, you need a plan, and a motivation, and those are the three things, right? And then and you see it happen with politics all the time. Like you can watch any political speech, right? And they'll be like
you love that one Hillary Clinton one.
Oh, dude, I do. That's a great one. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I do.
She like creates an enemy. The plan, the motivation is to stop the enemy from ruining your life, and the plan of action is to vote, right? And so a lot of politics is basically direct response copywritten stuff. The Trump campaign crushed all the DR copy, crushed it.
Legendary run,
like legendary. You can hate Trump all you want. We're not getting political here, but from a marketing perspective, his team did a phenomenal job. But. So you need to. So for me, when we don't go that aggressive, but like with the NanoFlips program, it's right. It's like, the 9 to 5, right? That's your enemy, right? That is your enemy.
Buying and flipping a website.
Yeah.
What's your motivation?
Really, what's
James
your motivation?
is going to give you $200 off today.
the motivation is to escape this rat race, right? Like, you know, like, or the motivation is to be, you know, to have ownership of your income, right? And so that's just me breaking down like psychologically how we sell NanoFlip stuff. Tate's is that the motivate. I mean, Tate's is just that times on 12. You know what I mean? Like,
has every woman in your life ever disrespected you?
But anyway, so that's something I would think about doing, and we could talk about like VSL breakdowns more specifically. You know what I mean? But VSL,
the core thing that unlocks inside the Tate stuff that's always been fascinating to me is because when you talk to this one brand of guy, and you're like, hey, you are better than everybody. They and I'm not afraid to tell you that, but society is, and there's just this whole like cast of guys who are just like.
Yeah.
Noted. You know, like they're just leaning. Yeah.
Exactly that.
I knew it.
Yeah, I've been waiting for someone besides my mom to tell me that.
Well, I think the other part behind it is that candidly, I think, you know, they know who they're leaning into, right? They're leaning into sort of, I mean, it happens to be, a lot of it has to do with like timing, right? Timing in the macro environments as well, right? And so you're leaning into like the deterioration of the middle class, right? We're losing in the United States. We have a bunch of, I think, young white men who like truly have the easiest leg up in the world and have been convinced because other people during their lifetime have said like, oh no, like
because you have to work.
Yeah. No, but I think because what happened is because they don't see their privilege, right? Because they just grew up with it, right? And they might be living shitty lives anyway.